here is the final part of our Burping Bertha story. So, that night on the news, and finally, yes, miracles happen at Christmas. Young Bertha Cookie Nest has certainly stirred things up, not to say brought things up, since her starring role in her school Christmas concert. And so, Bertha, let's see what you can do with this coconut. And later, in a recording studio in North London, don't do that thing you know I hate. Don't come here when you know you're late. Just give me your love like you used to do. Let me hear you tell me you love me true. Burp, 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 burp. And that was another 4 microphones shattered. In a laboratory in Milton Keynes, Dr. Gladys Sulfate and her team of eructologists, that means burpologists, examined Bertha. Are we talking epiglottal overdevelopment or pulmonary elasticity? Burp, said Bertha, and the clipboard went flying. The next letter to arrive at Bertha's house certainly gave them plenty to think about. Dear Bertha, we've heard the record, we've seen the news clips, we like it a lot. We'd like it too if you came to Hollywood and talked with us about a script we're developing at the moment. It will star Maradona, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Harrison Ford, and the Queen. It's a story of a pop star who makes a robot. The robot takes up deep sea diving and marries the Queen. Oh yeah? I hear you saying. Where do I come in? Hold the phone, baby. You're the robot's dog. What do you say? See you in LA. Rip socks. Now, if you received a letter like that, do you think you would go to Hollywood to make the film? What do you think Bertha did? The film was called Snow White and the Seven Terminators and had changed a little since Rip Socks' first ideas. The Queen was now playing the part of Robin Hood, and Bertha was an alien. Arnold Schwarzenegger was now the dog, Bertha was renamed Dorothy, Harrison Ford was the Wizard of Oz, and Madonna the Tin Woman. Bertha sang Over the Rainbow, but it has to be said, she was never quite sure why the film was called Snow White and the Seven Terminators. But the poster was great and millions flocked to see the film and buy it when it came out on video. So, of course, Bertha became a multi-mega billionaire superstar. Bertha t-shirts, posters, statuettes, board games, video games, comic strips and cartoon programs sold all over the world. But, like a lot of great stars, fame and glory led to disaster. One night, halfway between Nashville, Tennessee, where she had been recording It's One Last Burp on the Long, Long Road to Heaven, and Hackney, East London, where she was going to demolish 14 tower blocks, her plane crashed. Experts who examined the wreckage came to the conclusion that some kind of explosion tore a hole in the side of the jet close to where Bertha used to sit. It was noticed that the on-flight refreshments that night were Jackson's Wizzo Fizzo Super Plus. But Bertha's name lives on. Her home has been turned into a shrine called Burpland, and more people have visited it this year than watched the Cup final. Old tapes have been found of Bertha singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Burp, which have been given a remix with some of her best burps. There is a Bertha fan club with a magazine called Safety Belch, and from all over the world reports are coming in that Bertha has been seen. Who knows? Perhaps the plane crash was just a trick, say the fans, and really she bailed out of the plane with a parachute over Ireland, and she is really alive and well and burping in secret somewhere. So, What do you think? After she became a super mega rich superstar, do you think Bertha really did die in that plane crash? Or is Bertha still alive and living in Ireland, ready to wow the world with her burps once more? That's the end of our story. I hope you've enjoyed listening to it. Now, have a go at the activities linked to part 4 of our story.